How you doing?
I'm good, but I was just thinking, so you and I go to dinner last night, and
yeah.
our cute little waitress, she had the prettiest skin. She was so cute.
Beautiful.
But all of a sudden, you just rip into like psychic Camille, and you just start telling her a bunch of stuff. You see her face? She was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
which is what happens with Camille when she does a psychic reading on people. She'd be like, "Hey, did you know your girlfriend's pregnant?" They're like, "What? What?" But you said she messaged you today. What did
yeah.
she say?
Well, she said, "Oh my hell, you just changed my mindset. I can't believe it." So I said, "Stay in touch with me. Let me know how you're doing." But she was really grateful. She thanked me profusely, and she was so cute. But I think some people, I always just feel like whenever we talk, even like there's just like a presence in a way of the divine, so to speak, right? And I think when you talk in a spiritual way, I think there's a destiny to things. And so I've devoted. I kind of just say, I'll work for you, God, wherever you need me. And so I'll have to say things I don't want to say. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a position where I'm like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to tell that person.
Do not put that on me. I am not the messenger for that one, huh?
Really, seriously.
I know.
But sometimes life happens like that,
Well, I mean, there are
feel
people like that girl last night, and I know myself at times. Like, we're really happy to have that messenger come through you because, maybe it was just something that it was interesting because you were saying things that she was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I have a dog, and yes, my dad is sick. And, I've never, as long as I've known you, I've never seen you come across in a way that freaks people out.
Yeah.
I've seen you respectfully not share things that would just really disturb somebody.
Well, I don't want to. I mean, I kind of have to gauge. Can I? The one lady I really did disturb.
Wait, Camille has a gauge? What?
I have to kind of. Am I going to be able to say that without blowing people up?
Yeah.
And sometimes I have things to say that are pretty raunchy. I mean, they're
It's hard. It's just hard news, right?
Yeah.
So you and I were talking about this last night. I just think it's really fascinating. The majority of, it's so sad. I think I just spit on myself.
Actually, it was me.
I spit on you. The majority of people, at least 50%, I should say that, get divorced.
Oh, yeah. And it's higher for second marriages.
And their second marriage, which you and I have had this discussion before because I've been single a long time.
Yep.
I think based on all of our talks, I'm
yeah.
like, I'm kind of scared. Simply because we kind of go back to the same thing that we are used to.
Yeah.
How do you help people see a new you, find a new story?
Well, here's what's amazing. People, they fall in love with what's familiar.
Yeah.
And so if they got a messed up childhood or something, then or something happened in the past that feels familiar to them, even though it's not healthy for them because they got a blind spot.
Yeah.
And we like, who are you inside of a relationship? You play a certain role. Mm-hmm. And so if we're pleasers, if we're a lot of women are pleasers, they want to make sure that they're loved, and so they have to look good, so they make sure their man's happy. And a lot of guys throw money at women because they want to make them happy. So we get these automatic responses or autopilot behaviors that tend to take us down the same predictable failure path, right? So you have to really look at it and say, so who are you being inside of this relationship, and who are they being? You have to kind of process it and figure out what the pattern is.
That is so true. And I think, too, that it seems like a lot of people are so focused on, I'm going to go get a new haircut, or I'm going to go get a boob job, or I'm going to, the physical, because it's almost like, I don't know that I'm desirable anymore. I've been with the same person for X amount of years, or maybe they passed away, or now they're divorced. I don't know that anybody's going to find me interesting or beautiful or whatever. So they go do all these exterior things, but they never clean up the inside, which means they're still going to attract that same pattern of what they're usually trying to get away from.
I had a client who lost over 100 pounds, Kay, and she was in an abusive relationship, and she was a pleaser, and just had no confidence. She lost all this weight, and she looked great. She was dating a lot of guys, and then kind of met up with another guy, and she became that old person again inside of that relationship. Yes, it's fascinating. So, and I'd say she's pretty inside, and she was looking really good on the outside. She started gaining weight again. So it's almost like who does she turn into inside of that relationship? Mm-hmm. And she forgets herself, and she doesn't work out, and she eats what he wants to eat. She starts becoming that pleaser, and then she lets herself go. I said, girl, look what's going on here. This is not a healthy relationship. She kind of evaporates for a few months, comes back heavier and sad, and you're right, he did this, and now they broke up, and she's back on track. But this is the kind of stuff we go through. Everybody goes through this.
Yeah. There's a lot to say to that in that.